I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I did not show you the sunset before beginning this video. Just beautiful. All right, now that we got that covered, hello, welcome back. My name is Marissa. I'm a registered dietitian, and this channel is dedicated to all things women's health and healing. And today we are going to be talking about all of the different things I have tried over the years to subdue, cure, treat, whatever you want to call it, try and get rid of my painful periods. I had painful periods for 10 years before I found the cure, and I tried a lot of different things along the way. My body was an experiment all the time. So I'm going to go through a list of things just so you can gain some perspective. If you have painful periods, what's worked for me, what hasn't. I'm not here saying that you'll have the same exact outcome, but I do think I can offer some pretty valuable insight into like some of the science behind it, why it didn't work, or what it's actually supposed to be used for, and things like that. So let's get right into it. The first thing I wanted to bring up is, we love that. One of the really big things I tried in the beginning was the technology called Livia. I'm gonna basically read what this is directly off of the website because it's been so long. Okay, before I get ahead of myself, let me explain what it is. It is a device, an electronic device that you attach to your body just like you would an EKG. Attach these pads, these sticky pads, onto different parts of your abdomen, and you press a button and it sends electrical impulses to the area. So this is based on the gate control theory and works by transmitting special micropulses to the central nervous system to keep the nerves busy. When menstrual pain signals are transmitted, the nerve gate is closed and reduces or eliminates the pain being felt. In addition, Livia's micropulses activate the body's natural pain defenses to produce pain-fighting endorphins and further reduce pain. That was not my experience. I'm gonna give it, for myself personally, 0 out of 10 because I tried it once. I threw up. I don't know if I was just being like a hypochondriac and thinking that this thing was gonna do something harmful to me, but I don't think my brain could wrap itself around this being safe. So I think by default, I created an unsafe environment in my brain and it sent me into panic, probably. That's probably why I threw up. Honestly, it probably had nothing to do with the technology itself, but please let me know if you've tried this because I would be very curious to see if anybody else had a similar experience. But all I know is I put the thing on my body. It did not help with my period pain whatsoever. After 5 minutes of having it on, I threw up and I took it off and I just was crying, and I was very upset because I was like really hopeful that this would be the thing that cured my painful periods, or at least like reduce the symptoms. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Next thing I tried were birth control pills. I touched on this in my previous video, but I did get on hormonal birth control to try and reduce my period pain. I am going to also give this a 0 out of 10 because, yes, okay, it helped with my painful periods. I didn't have painful periods while I was on birth control. However, I had intensely heavy periods. I had weekly migraines, I had bloating, I developed a food sensitivity, I had mood changes, hormonal acne, and just a plethora of other things that made it so not worth it. And if we think about it, birth control pills don't actually heal anything. They can absolutely subdue the pain, but the problem is, what are you gonna do? Stay on hormonal birth control forever or until you're menopausal? There's enough long-term side effects for us to safely say that is not a good idea. It really just masks the symptoms of your painful period without treating the root cause. Unfortunately, that was also a big fail. Next thing I tried was detoxes / 24-hour cleanses or fasts. They would be nutritionally supported fasts where I would have just water, maybe like 100 calories that day, just something really, really light to snack on. And I would have these drinks, these like powders that I would mix into drinks with different adaptogens. I thought that maybe it was because I just wasn't detoxing well. And to a degree that was true, but unfortunately these cleanses didn't really make that big of an impact. I can't say that it wouldn't help with everybody. However, The reason why I had such painful periods in the first place was because my body was under a tremendous amount of stress. Fasting, especially as a teenager, didn't help. It just made me more stressed. I give this one a 5 out of 10 because it has some health benefits when done properly and done under the correct circumstances. However, for my situation, there was never a time that I did it back then that it was the correct circumstances. Now, I fast now, and if you want me to make a whole video on fasting for women, if it's good or bad, I just recently did tea hour in my Thrival Mode community all about this, so that's already up. But if you have specific questions on that, or if you would like me to make a video here, I'd be more than happy to do that. My body was already in a state of stress, and fasting causes more stress on the body when it's already stressed out, especially for women. With the complexity of our hormones, it's not always the best option for us to try fasting. That kind of bleeds into trying other functional herbs and beverages. So I tried that, it didn't really work, and I thought, okay, this is true because I was already under eating. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I was in a multi-level marketing company. All I was drinking were shakes and these detox supplements and eating protein bars and having one actual meal a day. So I was already chronically under eating, and then adding fasting on top of that just was doing more harm than good. Once I started to eat more, I was like, you know what, let me give some different herbs and functional beverages a try. So I tried the brand Elix. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 because I feel like it was easy to use. Yeah, it was a little pricey, but it really wasn't that bad. And I do believe that it made somewhat of a difference for me during the time that I was taking it. I would like to contribute the elix to being the reason why I didn't have 10 out of 10 pain all the time. And I still have some of their stuff. I just don't have a need for it anymore because I no longer have painful periods. But there was a time where I used that, and I do think I found value from it. So that one is one where it wouldn't hurt to try. I also tried to adopt herbal teas. So making my own herbal teas based off of herbs that were pretty well known to relax the uterus, prevent cramping, improve mood, and just overall reduce pain. And I still do this from time to time, but I would go to apothecaries and I would create my own tea blends. So I would have like marshmallow root, vitex, valerian root, passion flower, hibiscus, and just try and make these concoctions, really not knowing, like, I'm not an herbalist. I'm a dietitian. I am not an herbalist. There is a huge difference. I have not extensively studied herbs to the point where I would be confident, like saying, okay, this is your problem. These are exactly the herbs that you need. But I know enough to create them myself. And because I'm not on any medications, there was no risk of drug nutrient interactions. So I tried that. I would give this a 7 out of 10 because I also think that it helped. It was just very expensive going to apothecaries on the regular, and it's more of a hassle. It's more time consuming, of course, to be pouring and mixing and like really making your own stuff. Out of everything that I tried, I feel like elix and making my own herbal teas made the biggest impact in my healing because it actually helped heal the painful periods at the root. It helped with my liver detoxification, and it helped improve my body's resilience to stress because they have a lot of antioxidants and adaptogens. Okay, we're gonna pause so that you can now see the sunset in updated real time. These things are important. Now, that is pretty much everything that I can think of that I tried over the course of the 10 years that I had painful periods. So you might be thinking, what actually worked? If you have not watched my most recent video and you want full context, the full story from when I got my first period to achieving symptom-free periods for an entire year, then definitely go watch that. But I'm gonna give you a brief breakdown here as well, just so you have an idea. So the reason why elix and the herbal teas helped, like I mentioned, was because it treated the root. And if you see my eyes trailing off, it's because there's dolphins. It was a part of what helped regulate my nervous system, but it wasn't enough to completely take me from fight or flight to rest and digest. Other things that actually helped was functional breathing. Functional breathing is so important for our bodies to have enough oxygen. A lot of us are chronically underfeeding ourselves oxygen, which we don't think about on a daily basis. We just kind of breathe and move on with our lives, but I was struggling with really shallow chest breathing, and I worked with a functional breathing practitioner to help breathe correctly, and that alone helped regulate my nervous system. And I'm not talking about the breath work that you see online where it's just like breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. I know there's so many different techniques under the umbrella term of breath work, but I am talking about changing how your muscles move and interact with one another through the breath. So it took a while. I worked with my coach for 12 weeks, and I'm actually really excited about this because in Thrival Mode, my online community, she is going to be creating a dedicated module for you to learn the things that I learned back in those 12 weeks. I also do a 16-week small group cohort called Thrival Mode Pro, and she is going to be offering one-on-one counseling sessions during that too. So I'm working very closely with her now because I understand, yes, nutrition is a really big part of nervous system regulation and healing and all of the things that are going to make you feel your best. However, it's not the end all be all, and breathing properly is severely overlooked in most, if not all, health coaching programs. By the time you're seeing this, there's a chance that she's already had her module up in the classroom feature in Thrival Mode. You're going to find a lot of value in that. So that was the biggest thing that actually started to move the needle and help me heal from my painful periods. Just finding my femininity overall through dance, like creative expression, softening, getting out of a relationship that kept me in my masculine energy, really understanding what it meant to be feminine. As silly as it can sound to some people, I lacked that for the majority of my life. And once I learned how to soften and relax, I know I don't seem relaxed right now, I'm actually very intense. This is intense for me now, but if you went back and you watched videos of me from like 2020 and 2021, you would see a huge difference. Overall, it was getting my body out of its state of constant stress and into a state of rest through activating my parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that's responsible for rest and digest, through breathing functionally, dance, getting out into community, nurturing female friendships, changing my mindset around a lot of things, because once I changed my mindset on certain things, like constantly needing to rely on myself and only myself and being hyper independent, to, you know what, I can rely on people, I can collaborate, I can love on others and serve others without feeling this way. I was able to relax, I let go of anxiety. It has been a wonderful time. So I have had symptom-free periods since December of 2023. So at the point of filming this, it has been a full year and my life is completely changed. And I want you to so badly feel what it's like to not have to worry about if you're going to be laying in bed a day or 2 or 3 or 4 days out of every single month. It's not right. And there is a way to heal from the root without birth control pills, without excision surgery in some cases. There's ways to manage it. There's ways to get through it. And even if you don't have painful periods, if you just have heavy or irregular periods, the same thing applies to you. So many women nowadays suffer from hormonal imbalances, and I just want to be a voice and an advocate for you because we are not advocated enough, anywhere near enough, in the conventional healthcare industry. That is what I am here for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, follow-up questions on the things that I talked about. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, your week, your night. Whenever you're watching this, I will see you very soon.